बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, कृष्ण बलदेव की, सच्चे दरबार की। I think we have greeted everyone enough. Thank you so much for coming. The body is there. The eyes, nose, the clothing. Every single thing that we see in a human is there. But now we cannot call that person with a name. Now we call it a body because something left. In our scripture it says, "Kaun mua re kaun mua, ye to chalat pada." Who died? The major question is, who died? The one you called your loved one is still in front of you. The body, name, fame, eyes, nose, legs, every single body part is there, but something left. And now this person is addressed as, please take the body to the cemetery. Let's move the body, let's bathe the body. Now it's a body. Before it was a name, before it was a human. Who died? In our scripture it says souls never die. They move on. It says, "Lakh chorasi jun savai, manas ko prabh di badai, is podi te jo nar chuke aaye jain dukh painda." Our whole lives get attached to a body. And the thing that we're supposed to be attached to that never dies, we are unfamiliar of that idea. So I ask a question, who are you, body or soul? How should I address you? Should I call you going forward, "Oh, here comes the body," or should I call you by your name? So who died? In our scripture is written that "Ik purush hai is jag mein sagli nar savai." There's one male in this world, and that is God. Sagli nar savai, every single human being is considered a female. That's why when marriage happens, wife obeys the husband. But in mortal world, humans changed it, where wife obeys the husband, which himself, the soul form, is still a woman. That's why in our scriptures, when it says, "Vyah hoya mere babula avinashi var paya," that I got married to someone who can never die. So who died? We like to read, but we don't like to understand. We like to recite, but we don't like to understand. We like to memorize shloks, but what they mean is something we're unaware of. Once upon a time, a saint was walking, and he saw a beggar sitting on a stone. He went to the beggar, handed him a slip, and he says, "Follow this command and you will be successful. You will be happy." Now this person looks at the slip, he opens up the slip, and it says that all you have to do is get up, look under the rock, and there's diamonds underneath. And moment this happened, moment this took place, he's like, okay, so he kept reading, he kept reading, he kept reading. 2 weeks later, the same saint passed by, and when the saint saw him sitting in the same spot, the saint says, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Wait, I don't even have to look at it anymore. Look, I memorized it. Get up, under the stone there's diamond. Retrieve them." He said, "That's all you understood?" He's like, "That's all I understood." Then saint walked forward saying, "Well, that's all you get." Our scriptures are a manual. You know when you buy something online and then you have instruction books? The goal is not to just read the instruction books and Om Jai Jagdish, the instruction book. The goal is to follow the instructions so you can build something. Our whole lives we do bhakti. And yet we need more because we have not reached anywhere. Who died? We don't even know that. We start thinking about the body going away. The body never left. The body was always meant to leave. Soul never left. And in our scripture, our goal is to cremate the body. Why cremate the body? So the soul does not get attracted to the body thinking that my body is available to go back to, because the body is still, that's why we wait for 4 days. There's a long story about that, but I'm going to get to the moral. In the futures, if you guys listen to satsangs, I will go in the depth of why does the body has to wait 4 days before it's cremated. But that does not matter. Again, that's the manual. The goal is to build something stronger. Soul never dies. Soul moves on. Lakh 400,000 species that a soul has to go through in order to become a human being. Crown of creation. Sarmor, Sartaj, the top person, the main being, human. Who have the capability to do so much because you are the form that God takes. Why? Because you are crown of creation. When God has to incarnate on earth, God incarnates in a human body because human body is equivalent to God body, because human soul is light and God himself is light. So now understanding this much, you are God. God never dies. So who died? Body died. What was the body? A piece of clothing that we wore. Now we're in the next body, next piece of clothing. Going to Bhagavad Mahapuran, going to Bhagavad Gita, my bad. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is telling Arjun, because Arjun is crying that these are my relatives. Bhagwan said, these are only bodies, Arjun. They're already dead. You do your deed, you do your part, because you are the one who is supposed to kill them. You are the one who's taking their soul away from their bodies and getting them to the next place. You do your part. Arjun, there's no reason to act the way you are acting. And the whole shlok, I think you guys might know more shloks than I do. Ashochananva shochastum pragyavadhansha bhasha se gata sun gata sushcha nanu shochanti pandita. A pandit does not get excited on a birth and cries on death. Pandit stabilizes themselves because they know the reality of life. So Pandit never sorrows. Pandit never gets too excited. Pandit doesn't have too much joy. The Pandit does not have too much depression. Who is Pandit? You are Pandit. So who are we crying for? The soul is still there. And soul might be with God right now, actually. Based off all the good human does, it determines who is going to become what when at time of death. Your whole life, if all you chant is money, at the time of death, only thing you're going to remember is money. One time a Sethji was passing away. And the wife and everyone know that my husband is not so God-oriented. So what he did, the wife named her child Narayan. For anybody who came to Guru Purnima might know the story already. Wife named the child Narayan. So all Sethji had to do was keep chanting his son's name. Narayan, come here. Narayan, go get food. Narayan, groceries done. Narayan, get some water. And Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. But all life long, all Sethji focused on was the business, money. So now time of death came. I'm going to cut the story short. Now time of death came and everyone gathered around Sethji and telling, Pitaji, call your son. Pitaji, Call Narayan. Pitaji opened his eyes a little bit and he saw all the family standing around him. And Pitaji said, what are you all doing here? Who's taking care of the business? Go do the business. And Pitaji passes away. Doctor says, I'm going to give him a shock. That shock will wake him up for about a few seconds and then he is done. If he says it, he says it. If he doesn't say it, I'm sorry. And moment the shock was given to Sethji opens his eyes, saw his son Narayan standing in front of him, and all he said, you're still here, donkey, and he passes away, and Sethji became donkey. Who do you think about at the time of death is what you become? Now you're saying, this is a funny story. I'm going to correct you on that one. It says, Antakal jo Lakshmi sumire aisi chinta me jo mare sarp yon valvale utre. The scripture says, don't believe me? Put in an effort. Go open up a scripture. Don't know which one it is? Well, have fun researching. Antakal jo Lakshmi sumire aisi chinta me jo mare sarp yon yol valvale utre. If you think about money, you become a snake. Antakal jo ladka sumire aisi chinta me jo mare sur jon valvale utre. If your focus is on your children at the time of death, you become pig. Antakal jo istri sumire aisi chinta me jo mare vashwa jon valvale utre. You become those birds that never get to meet if you think about your wife or your partner at the time of death. Antakal jo mandir sumire. Now mandir is not a temple. Mandir is a home in the Hindu scriptures. If you look at it, before times people used to address their homes like, this is my nivas, this is my mandir, man andir, the peaceful place where I reside. That's mandir. Your own home is a mandir. Even though if I open up your house and look into your cabinets, I don't think Ram will be drinking what you drink. But anyways, let's not talk about that, right? Antakal jo mandir sumire aisi chinta me jo mare pret jon valvale utre. You become ghost at the time of death when you think about your house. That's why there are haunted houses, brothers and sisters. Halloween just passed away. And I'm not lying because I'm reciting scriptures, and scriptures are our manuscript. They're telling us how to live life. So the goal is the conclusion of the shlok. Antakal jo Narayan sumire. Antakal jo Narayan sumire aisi chinta me jo mare bhagt trilochan dehanar mukta pitambar vake hide vase. When the time of death, when you think about Narayan, when you chant Narayan's name, you are released from the circle of life and death, and then you go and reconnect into God, into Narayan. Jot Roop, your real form is light, and God is light. When you die, what happens to you? You become part of the light. You lose your identity. You are nothing anymore. In the beginning, you're not supposed to be anything anyway. You came to this earth just to do your deed and go back, but you got sidetracked. You got sidetracked, and now you're focusing on this, money, attachment, and all these bad elements are just holding you down, and now your baggage is so heavy that you can't even walk properly. Growth, anger, biggest enemy, everyone has it. Doing good, angry. Doing bad, angry. Doing holy, angry. And they say if you show any sign of anger in your puja, it does not get complete. So you better apologize every step of the way. Now, how do you remember God at the time of death? $1 million question, right? If you always focused on your beauty, you're always focused on your beauty, you're always finding ways to make yourself look good. You're going to the cosmetologist, you're getting your Botox, you're getting whatever you need to get done, you're doing all these treatments, you're doing everything you need. Why? Because your focus is body. So what you do is you find ways to make yourself look pretty, correct? If you're into cars, if you're attracted to cars, every time you see a Lamborghini or McLaren or any other car that you're attracted to, you look at the car and your heart goes for it. Why? Because you're attracted to it. If you're attracted to money, which 90% of the world is, that's all what the world revolves around, because, you're going to take it to the Param Dham or down there Dham to, negotiate your bail with the down there God and up there God. No, it's not going to go with you. You know that, but your focus is money. So you find ways to talk about money. You find ways to think about money. You find ways to achieve money. You find ways to accumulate money. You find ways to save money. Why? Your focus is money. I think my whole concept is giving you the idea where I'm going with God right now. There's a balance. If you focus on God throughout your life, at the end you will think about God. If whole life you thought about money, 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 kids, 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 house, 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 your focus is going to go on to those things. Now, I am not saying let's become homeless. Am I saying that? No, I am not. It says, Sukh na vich grast de. There's no happiness in being married in a family. Sukh na chhad gaya. There's no happiness if you just leave it as well. Sukh hai vich vichar de. Sukh. You know what sukh is, right? Happiness. Sukh hai vich vichar de. Think about it. Santan sharan paya. Going to a guru who can show you how to live a life where you are in this world with all the worldly possession, but yet you are connected to that Supreme. I have a full-time job. I'm working class. I do every single thing I need to do. But my mind on free time only thinks about doing good. I'm a live example. Am I an angel? No, I'm not. I might be eviler than you think. The point is, I know when I'm idle, I think about God. I think about spirituality. I think about finding ways to help people. I think about saying something. I'm listening to satsangs all the time so I can get some good satsangs and something good in my mind so I can contribute to the society where people want to come and talk to me because they feel good talking to me. When people come to you and want to talk to you because something good is coming, you have succeeded in your life. But when people are coming to you and all they're getting is, oh, business is bad, money is not flowing, my kids don't listen to me, my car breaks down every other day, my wife and my husband are just like crazy, I am living like a maniac. If that's what you're channeling out there, the other person is going to find a way to give you this back as well. Attract what you want. Chant what you want. Think about what you want, and that will be given to you. That's what God says, Tathastu. Whatever you say and chant every single day will be given to you. Oh, I am in pain. Tathastu. Stay in pain. I am happy. Tathastu. Here happiness comes. You channel what kind of energy you need to bring into your life. So in the end of this satsang, because I have 1 minute left, I'm punctual. Who died? Nobody died. Soul is there. That soul has emerged into God, if I know better. And that soul is looking down at you as God now. So who are we crying for? That soul has reached their final destination? We should celebrate the fact that God has blessed us with these thoughts. God has blessed us with this beauty. God has blessed us with so many people to sit with you and smile with you. So only thing in return we're going to go forward and give are smiles. And only thing we need to focus on is God. That's why it says, Sans Sumiro Govind. You heard that, right? In your breath. Sanson ki mala pe. Sanson ki mala pe. Sumiru mein pi ka naam. Who's Pia? Who's the Pati Dev? Your Atma, you're a female. Your Pati is God. Sanson ki mala pe sumiru mein pi ka naam. So when God, Guru comes into your life, He activates the third eye. He turns on the name of God within your breath. So every time you're breathing, you're chanting God's name. So you don't even have to say it from your mouth because Jiba Bajo Japana, God's name is not chantable through your tongue. It is by your breath. So when Guru comes in, he blesses you with his Brahm Gyan and he gets you activated. And every single breath you're taking, even if you're not thinking of anything, God's name is activated and is running. And that is how you die when you take the last breath. And with that breath, Guru blessed you with the name of God. So you don't even have to chant it. No chanting is required. He made it so much easy, didn't he? That's why we thank. That's why I took a minute over. So with that note, I'm here tomorrow as well. And there's going to be so many beautiful things happening. So with that note, thank you so much for listening to me. If I said something to hurt anybody's feelings, I'm glad that happened today. Because sometimes feelings needs to get hurt. Sometimes we need to get touched in a different way instead of getting compliments for all the good things that you have done. Sometimes you need to be reminded that your mirror could be dirty. Let's clean that mirror so you can see yourself better. With that note, बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, कृष्ण बलदेव की, सर्व श्री आशुतोष महाराज जी की